Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Journey of the Profitable, Purposeful Entrepreneur. Before we get started today, let me warn you. Today, I'm putting on my coaching hat and I'm going to get real with something we all need to stop doing now if we plan to create the business and life of our dreams. So if you're ready, let's get started. I spent the last few years building a successful online business while learning from some of the most brilliant marketing minds and coaches on the planet. And now, I've walked away from that business to start over again from scratch. Why? Because, like you, I felt the calling of contribution and the all-consuming need to create a business giving me the freedom to put fatherhood and family first, while fulfilling my calling to share my expertise in order to serve and impact others in a positive way. Join me now as we walk the path together to create the life and business of our dreams. I'm Evans Putman. Welcome to the Journey of the Profitable, Purposeful Entrepreneur. What is up, my profitable, purposeful entrepreneurs? I'm so glad you're here today. I'm really excited about this episode because I'm going to put my coaching hat on and do a little bit of coaching today. So, what do I mean by that? Well, excuse me. I'm putting on my coaching hat because we're going to deal with an excuse that I've heard so many times over the years. Probably the most I ever heard it was when I was a personal trainer and dealing with clients who would come see me on the day they were supposed to come do their workout, and the other 3 or 4 days of the week just could never get it done. And can you guess what the excuse was? You may have used it yourself before. I'm just going to admit it right now. I've used it myself as well, and not even too long ago, which I'm a little bit embarrassed to say, but and I'll get to that in just a second. But can you guess what that excuse was? That excuse was, I don't have time. I don't have time. So what they were really telling me, and this is coming from the coach side of things, is what you're telling me, if let's say 3 months from now, we're talking, you and I, and 3 months, like today is today, obviously, but you tell me, I know exactly what I want to do. I want to start a new purpose-driven business. I'm tired of working 60 hours a week for somebody else. I don't get to spend any time with my family. And I'm just working and working and working. The time I do get to spend with my family, I'm really wiped out. I'm tired. So I know I want to start a new business. And I'm like, great, that's awesome. I'm excited for you. I can't wait to hear more about it. 3 months later, fast forward to 3 months down the road, we are talking again. Hey, how's that business going that you were starting? You know, the purpose-driven business, the one that you wanted to start. We talked about it 3 months ago when we were having coffee at Starbucks. Oh, well, with all the work I'm doing and trying to spend time with I just don't have time. Okay. I've heard that before so many times. And like I said, I'm not beating anybody up for it because I have done it myself. And I'll just give you an example. I was probably, over the past year, I've lost 30 pounds. I've started working out again. I feel much better about myself. But before that, I had obviously gained 30 pounds. I was feeling lethargic, tired. I was working all the time on what I thought was a business I wanted to be in. And I did. I enjoyed my team, the team that I had developed. I enjoyed my partner, working with him, my business partner, but it was not my purpose. Right. So I was working and working and working. The money was good. So I worked more, found myself sitting behind the desk. And what would I tell myself every time that it came to doing what I was committing to. I would commit to myself, I'm going to start working out. I'm going to start taking better care of myself. I'm going to start doing this. I need to lose weight. Especially somebody coming from my background, it was sort of embarrassing. And every time the excuse I came back to was, I don't have enough time. I got too much work to do. And then I got to go do this with my family. And then I need to do this. And I just don't have time. And here's the truth about that excuse. Everybody has enough time. The reason you use that excuse, the reason I was using that excuse, the reason my clients used to use that excuse when I was a personal trainer. Can you see the irony here? I used to give people grief all the time about that excuse. You have time to work out. Don't give me that crap. And then fast forward, and here I am using the same excuse on myself over and over. I don't know where my personal training self didn't come in and say, hey, shut up. That's a stupid excuse. You need to get in there and work out, start going to the gym, get up at 5 a.m. But anyway, sorry, I got off into a little conversation with myself there. But the thing is, when it comes to time, and I read this recently, and I believe it was Dean Graziosi, and he said that he hears that excuse a lot. People are like, I want to start doing this. I have this goal to do this. I want to start a new business. I want to take care of myself better. I want to start spending more time with my family. And it always comes back to, I don't have time. Well, the reason you don't have time is because you don't truly have clarity on the goal that you want to achieve. So let me back that up again and say it. The reason you don't have the time in your mind is that you don't have a clear vision on exactly where you want to be. Because if you want to start a purpose-driven business and you want to serve people and you feel that call, that need to share your talents, what you have with other people so you can make their lives better, it's a wonderful thing that you want to do, but there's something holding you back, and that's you are not being clear and do not have total clarity on that. Otherwise, you would eliminate the excuse of time. You would come home from work, you'd spend time with your family, you'd put the kids to bed, you'd stay up for 2 or 3 extra hours and work on that project instead of sitting down and watching Netflix. Even if you were exhausted, you would take 1 hour and spend moving towards that goal, just taking a few steps. Now, it could be that you're a little paralyzed by doubt, and this is something we just discussed. I think it was 2 episodes ago. So go back to episode number 2 and listen to it. And how you get over that doubt is to just start moving forward. How do you start getting clarity on your goal? You start moving towards that goal. So that is one way to eliminate that excuse, because action always creates clarity. Just find a little bit of time here or there and do it. When I was not working, I was working hard and not working out. Like I said, I could have gotten my butt out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning and I could have gone and worked out. I could have gotten up at 5 in the morning. I could have gotten up at 4:30 in the morning. I mean, I wake up at 4 in the morning anyway, my brain turns on, and before I would just sort of lay in bed. Why was I not just getting up and going and working out? I could have gone for a walk around the block. I could have walked just, 20 yards away, not 20 yards away, more like 200 something yards away to our amenities center where we have a gym in our neighborhood, and I could have used that gym. But why was I not doing it? Because I didn't have the clear goal in my head. I did not have the visualization showing me saying, I really, really, really want to lose this weight and get myself back in shape. So that's one way to get over that excuse. Now, another big way, and this is something that I'm going to devote an entire podcast to, because it's something that's very, very, very important to every entrepreneur. And it goes back to what we talked about with doubt, what we talked about with giving up, how you're going to face hard times. I mean, when we go on this journey to become a purposeful entrepreneur, it's not a straight road. The path we choose, we may be able to see where we want to go, but that path is going to be full of obstacles. It's going to be full of ups, going uphill, coming downhill. It's going to be winding. There's going to be times where we want to give up. It's the same thing. We're going to just sit down and say, okay, I just don't have time to do it today. We're going to use that excuse. The way you overcome that is, one, we just discussed, have clarity, total clarity on the outcome you wish to achieve and be able to feel that outcome. Okay. Number two, you must have an unstoppable why. There must be a reason, a why behind your desire to do this. If you have that unstoppable why, then just as that word means, you will not be able to be stopped, no matter what obstacle you come across, whatever wall comes up to try to block you, no matter what happens, the time excuse, the no money excuse, the no support excuse, the self-doubt excuse, the I'm not good enough excuse, anything is going to be obliterated with the unstoppable why. And like I said, we're going to get into that because I have a good exercise that I want to share that you can use to identify that unstoppable why, because you may think that it's like, hey, I want to do this because I want more freedom to spend time with my family. And that's a great goal. That's a great why, but that's really not your unstoppable why. Your unstoppable why is going to be so deep, and you're going to have to unearth it, and it's going to be attached to feelings, and those feelings are going to be what keep you from giving up. Okay. So those are two ways to overcome this excuse of I don't have time. And while we're on the subject, we're going to talk about one more thing, because here is a great way to create more time. Okay, then now that you know that you're using that excuse, let's try to create some more time. Maybe you do have a 40-hour work week or a 60-hour work week. And of course, if you have family, you want to spend time with them. Okay, so where are we going to find that time? Well, successful people, wealthy people, they collapse time. Unsuccessful people, they elapse time. Okay, so let's go over that again. You want to be successful. Successful people collapse time. Unsuccessful people elapse time. Now, what do I mean by that? The unsuccessful people, they go to work, they come home. I'm not saying you're unsuccessful if you go to work. So let's just, I'm not putting judgment on anybody here. What I'm saying is if you want to get ahead, if you want to achieve something, if you want to reach that goal, if you want to start your purpose-driven business, and you've got all these other things going in your life, you've got to figure out how to collapse time. Because one way to fail is to elapse time. Okay. And what happens is that people, they find ways to waste time. They come home, they binge watch on Netflix. That might be their 2 hours that night that they have free. The kids are in bed, they're relaxing, they turn on the TV, they watch Netflix. Or they have a 30-minute break, they jump on social media and waste 30 minutes on social media. Okay, they're just finding ways to elapse time, ways to waste time. That time is valuable. Time is more valuable than money. So in order to model successful people, you need to move from elapsing time to collapsing time. And when you start doing this, you're eliminating the excuse of time totally, 100%, because you are going to be collapsing time. Now, what do I mean by collapsing time? Well, there's simple ways, there's big ways, but one way is as an entrepreneur, when you are starting out, don't feel like you have to do everything. You don't have to do everything. You don't have to create your logo. You don't have to learn how to use a software and figure out how to create your logo. You don't have to learn how to edit podcasts. I'm not even editing these podcasts, which you may be able to tell. I'm just going in, plugging in, talking. Okay. I'm not going to go through the entire process of, oh, wait, I've got to do this and I've got to edit it. I got to pull out all the ums that I say, all the mistakes that I make. I've got to send it off to somebody, or I've got to learn a software to do it myself. I got to make the perfect thing. I'm just creating a bunch of nonsense for myself, and I can be collapsing time. I'm collapsing time by just basically, I've bought a microphone so I could sound halfway decent. I plugged it into my computer. I went to Anchor, which is a podcast program. I push record, it records it. Okay. I'm not learning how to like do all these fancy editing and add background music and do all this other stuff. I just want to get it out there. I want to collapse time. The faster I can get this podcast out there and start helping you and start getting my message out, the quicker I move down this path on my journey to success. Okay, so you collapse time by finding people to help you. Even if you don't think you have the money to pay somebody full time, you can find people and barter. You can trade. You can find people to, that'll maybe help you out. Just maybe they're brand new. They're getting into graphic design. They don't really have a lot of clients. You'd be like, hey, would you consider doing it for, half price, and I'll give you an awesome testimonial. I mean, you can barter for testimonials. People love getting testimonials. When I first started out as a freelancer online, I would have loved to know that, because I would have gotten a lot of testimonials instead of taking such low-paying jobs for so long. If I could have just given some people some free value, gotten some testimonials in return, it would have helped me. So collapsing time, right? When you have time, you have an hour break. You don't go sit in front of Netflix. You go pull out a book, you learn something, you immediately learn for 30 minutes. The next 30 minutes, you take action on what you learned. Okay. When you learn something, instead of, something I used to do that was like a lapsing time. I would go through a training. Let's say I have a 15 module training. I'd watch the entire thing, forget everything that I learned in the beginning, never get back to it, never do it. Go through the training, listen to it, watch it. Take 5 minutes as soon as they bring up a point, whoever's teaching it, your coach, whatever, and it's an online course, you learn something, you stop it, you pause it, you immediately implement it. Okay, that'll collapse time, that'll push you towards success much quicker. And there's other tools out there. One thing that I use in Chrome is a video extension for Chrome, my Chrome browser. And with this video extension, I can watch videos at much faster time rate than I do just regular playing speed. It speeds up the speed where, people talk a little bit faster. If you're like me, I'm from the South. I already talk slow. So you can speed me up to sound normal, but you can watch an hour-long video in 30 minutes. So then you can take, instead of that free hour that you had where you only watch the video and don't implement anything, you speed it up, you watch it, you take notes, 30 minutes, boom, it's done. You got 30 more minutes, you implement it. Okay. So find ways you can collapse time. There's other ways you can do it too. I mean, successful people oftentimes they'll have their meals created and delivered. Used to be that you had to have some kind of chef do it for you. You had to be really wealthy, but now there's services out there that do it for really inexpensive, where you can have your meals delivered. Don't come home from work and cook. Have that food already there. You don't have to prepare it. It's already delivered to you. You can have your groceries delivered. There's just ways that you can collapse time and give yourself more time to reach your goals and achieve your goals, because I know you want it. If you're like me, you feel this calling, you feel this need to do it. And I don't want the time excuse to mess it up for you, because it should not be an excuse. You can find a way. And I'm going to help you out by helping you find your unstoppable why. And then I can guarantee you, once you find your unstoppable why, you are going to be unstoppable. Time will not be an excuse. Nothing will be an excuse. And then you will start reaching your goals much, much quicker, and nothing's going to hold you back. So I hope this long rant on the excuse of time was helpful. I hope you found some useful information in it. Remember, get clear on what you want. Truly clear on it. Feel it. Feel that desired result. Feel how it feels to be successful. Go ahead and put that in your mind. That is going to help you eliminate the excuse of time, because you're going to be clear on what you want, and time will not be an excuse. Okay, then we're going to go over the unstoppable why in another episode soon. I can guarantee you that. And then lastly, but not least, start collapsing time. Stop wasting it. whenever you have a free moment. I will not say take time away from your family. Give yourself fully and presently to your family in that time you have. But when the kids are in bed, when your partner is in bed, your wife, your husband, whoever, and you have a few minutes, don't just randomly open up Facebook. Don't just turn on Netflix. It's a habit. Go ahead and do something useful, even if it's 15 minutes that is moving you towards your goal. Collapse that time, get to your goal quicker. You're going to be so much happier when you reach there. I promise you, when you get to that destination and you start feeling momentum and being fulfilled, you're going to be so glad that you quit wasting time. Thanks, and everybody have a great day, and I will talk to you in the next podcast. Don't forget, always email me, always leave messages for me, whatever you want to do. Questions, I'll be glad to address them. I want to serve you at the highest level, and I would appreciate it if you get a chance to go in and subscribe and rate and review the podcast. It would be awesome. Thanks, and have a great day. Have you joined our free online community for profitable, purposeful entrepreneurs yet? What are you waiting for? It's absolutely free. Just head over to Facebook right now. Go to the search bar, type in profitable, purposeful entrepreneurs. You'll find the group. Join us. We'd love to have you in here. The community is great. You'll learn lots of valuable skills, strategies, ideas. You'll meet other purposeful, profitable entrepreneurs of every level, from those just starting out to those who have been in business for a while. And it's a great community, very supportive. Join us today. We look forward to seeing you there.